Hi everyone, it's Miss Rossi. Today we are going to draw a funny filter self-portrait. What you'll be needing today is your funny face SP paper from your art folder. This is just a white piece of paper, so if you do not have this one in your folder, any other piece of paper will work. You can take your label off because we won't be needing that. You're going to need a pencil, something to trace with, an eraser, and I also have a funny filter selfie paper with different filter ideas on canvas that you can look at, or you can come up with your own filter ideas or pick your favorite filter that you like to use. Today we are going to draw a self-portrait that shows a funny filter, so you can add any kind of decoration or detail to your self-portrait. If you want to create your own filter to turn yourself into an animal or add any funny or funky accessories, you can do that. I put some of my favorite filters on our ideas sheet. We have the dog one, flower crown. My personal favorite is the one where the pigeon is sitting on your head. I have a bunny. This one had bear ears and glasses. We have sunglasses and a beard, or a cowboy hat and a mustache, but you can come up with really any kind of filter you want to transform your selfie self-portrait. I feel like a lot of the most common ones are animals or other fun little accessories you can add. I am going to do a flower crown portrait today. So I am going to start by just drawing a regular self-portrait and then adding on my filter details after. I think it is easiest, depending on what kind of details you're adding as your filter, to start by just doing your basic self-portrait and then adding all of those extra little accessories on at the end. Now, if you're doing something like the dog filter, where there's going to be a part that is covering part of your face, like the nose for the dog filter, I wouldn't draw my nose and then erase it. I would just go straight in and draw the dog nose. Same if I was doing something like sunglasses, I would just go in and draw the sunglasses instead of drawing my eyes and then going back later on and erasing them. Now, things that are extra little details that you add on top of your head or like around your facial features, those can easily be drawn on after you already drew the rest of your self-portrait. So I am going to do a little flower crown today, and I'm just going to start by drawing my self-portrait. And to do that, I'm going to start with a nice big U shape, and this is going to be the bottom of my face where my chin is. I can add a neck down at the bottom. You can decide what kind of shirt you were wearing and what kind of neckline your shirt is going to have. I'm just going to do a regular round neckline. I'm going to extend that out to make the collar of my shirt, and then I'm just going to draw my shoulders coming down and out to the bottom edge of my page. I'm going to add some ears at the top of my U shape, and I'm going to draw a very light line going across, connecting the top of my ears and connecting the bottom of my ears. Now, our eyes are going to go along this top line. If you feel on your face, the top of your eye will connect to the top of your ear if you feel around your head, and this bottom line is where the bottom of our nose is going to be. Now, if you follow the bottom of your ear around your head, you are going to hit the bottom part of your nose. So that kind of helps us create the proportions on our face a little bit easier. I have a lot of extra space down at the bottom, so I can do a nice big fun mouth, so I can show a lot of expression and emotion in my picture. And then the top of my head and my hairline is going to go up above the ears. So I'm just going to start with the eyes. If you want to draw a line down the center to split your face in half so it is symmetrical on both sides, you can do that. So I'm just going to draw a almond shape eye. Again, making sure the top is going through that line. Now, your eyes are going to be the same distance from your ears as from each other. So the width of your eye can also measure the space in between your eye and your ear and in between both eyes. So you can mark that out or kind of just eyeball it to figure out how big that space should be. You can decide what kind of expression or emotion you want your self-portrait to be showing. If you want it to be happy, if you want to have a shocked face, all of those different kinds of details you can show in the facial features. So maybe you want one eye closed, maybe you want them both closed, maybe you want them more open so they look more shocked, maybe you want to do more of a cartoon shaped eye. It could really be anything. It's totally up to you and what you think is going to work best for your portrait. I am going to draw my nose down here think I'm just going to do a little U shape for my nose today. I'm going to draw some eyeballs in there by just doing some lines that look like parentheses, and then a circle in the center for the pupil. So we have our eyeball, we have our iris, that colored part of our eye, and then we have the pupil, the black part of our eye. I'm going to add some eyelashes with just some curvy lines coming out from the top, and I'm going to put some eyebrows above my eyes. I can erase those guidelines that I drew because I don't need those anymore now that I got most of my facial features in place. I have my nose, I have my eyes, I have my eyebrows. I just need a nice big mouth on here. I'm going to do a big smiling mouth. So I am going to draw a nice big U shape and bring it down. I'm going to add some lines for cheeks, and I'm just going to do 2 simple lines in there to separate my teeth. Now I'm going to look to the top of my head. I have bangs, so I am going to draw those coming down into my forehead a little bit. I'm starting with the hairline because I think it is easiest if you start drawing the top of your head by doing your hairline. So look at the way your hair connects to your forehead and what kind of shape that is going to make. If it's easier for you to just go across the top and draw a nice round top of your head to start with, you can do that. I also have some other papers on canvas to kind of guide you in creating your self-portrait. Then I'm just going to complete that head shape and then add my hair coming out from the sides. Now the rest of my hair is pretty wavy, so I'm just going to do a wavy line coming down with that. You can decide what kind of hairstyle you want for your self-portrait. If you have glasses normally, or you want to add any hair accessories or anything like that, you can always do that as well. All right, I think that looks good as my starting point for my portrait. So now I can go in and add my filter details. So for my filter, I wanted to do a little bit of a flower crown. So the rest of my portrait is going to be mostly normal, and I'm just going to draw on my crown going across the top of my head. I'm going to start from the center and work my way out by drawing all different kinds of flowers. And I'm just drawing right over the top of the portrait that I already drew. And I can go in and erase all of those extra lines at the end. So now that I have my first flower shape, I'm going to go in and erase all of those lines that I originally drew for my hair that are still inside my flower shape. There we go. I am going to try and add different kinds of flowers here and different sizes, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So with whatever details you're adding on your filter, you're just drawing those straight on top of what you already drew and erasing whatever you can see through it, because you wouldn't want to see your hair or any other little details that you drew through your filter design. All right, I'm going to make my flower crown symmetrical on both sides. So I'm drawing the same kinds of flower designs on both sides. There's a little rose shape, and I am having it curve down a little bit as I am getting to the sides of my head, and I'm make my flowers a little bit smaller as we get down there. All right, now that I have all my flowers drawn, again, I'm just going to go in and erase any of those lines that I can see through them so that I can see my design better and I can see any little details I want to add or anything that I want to fix. All right, there we go. So now I have my flower crown on there. I think I want to add some little sparkles in the background as well. So your filter can have items that are on your face and on your portrait, and then you can also add things floating around in space or any other little details you want. Maybe you want to add some type of costume or something to your clothes. I'm just going to do these little sparkly star shapes in the background. So they're kind of like a 4-pointed star. They remind me of like camera flashes and like glittering lights. And you just make them by doing a bunch of curvy lines that are together. There we go, that looks good. I'm also going to add a design on my shirt. I'm going to do 2 shorter lines to separate where my arms are from my body. And I think I'm just going to make a striped shirt. So I'm going to do some horizontal lines going across all the way down. Now that I'm done drawing my portrait with my pencil, I'm going to use my Sharpie and I'm just going to trace over all of my pencil lines. We want to trace over our portrait so it's going to be easier for us to see when we color it next week. So I'm just going to go in, trace over all of my pencil lines, and then erase any of those pencil lines I can still see. So I'm just going to go in, trace over all of my lines, and then I will be done. Alright, there you go. That is my funny filter portrait all finished. I finished tracing over all of my pencil lines, and then I went in with my eraser to erase any of those pencil lines that I could still see. Now that it is traced, I'm going to stop here for today. Next week we are going to color our pictures in, so you can save this in your art folder until then. Since we are finishing our projects next week, you do not need to submit anything on Canvas today. Just make sure you save your project in a safe place so we can work on it next time. I hope you enjoyed getting to pick your own kind of filter to add to your self-portrait. Try your best, have fun, and get creative, and I'll see you soon. Bye!